What? Did you say commission change in 2024? If you're curious, you want to stay on and watch this video.
This is Kasama Lee, your community realtor.
We real estate agents, lately, our brains have been spinning. Our heads are spinning with all the new information, with all the webinars, with all the trainings we have to do and learn about a new language and a new way of proceeding with real estate and still be able to get paid to do what we love to do for a living. So I wanted to just kind of give you some insight as a consumer, what it may look like to you if you are looking to hire a real estate agent to either sell your home or buy your home. Okay, so if this content is valuable to you, you want to hit subscribe and the bell notification so you don't miss future videos. This also helps support the channel so that we can get more of these great contents out to the public. From the bottom of my heart, I am grateful for your support, sharing, and liking our videos. So due to the National Association of Realtors settlement that happened, the mega multi-million dollar lawsuits that were happening earlier this year that you may have heard. And if you didn't hear about it, you want to click this video here to learn more about what I shared when it first was coming out. I feel like it's important for me to address this because I have had a few really great friends. Some are clients who are checking in to see how are you doing with real estate? Things are changing so much, and are you okay? So I just thought, okay, let me put this video together so you have an idea of what that looks like for the consumers and what you can expect, okay? So basically the language, it's in the language, in the contract that in our Northern California area, through our multiple listing services, which is Bay Area Real Estate Services, short for BARIES, effective August the 12th, 2024, we are going to look different in how we enter the information on the multiple listing services, also known as MLS. So that's one thing. The second thing is the contracts written by California Association of Realtors have already changed. Some of the paperwork already starts to look different, and the fields are different, and what we're able to address looks different. The important thing for you to know is we, in our Team Kasama Lee business, we serve more sellers. We are known as the listing agents. You know, most of our clients are sellers, but we also have buyers that we love and take care of. Some are first-time buyers, and they're just trying to get through this roller coaster. And we love the part where we get to hold their hands and take them through the process so that they can win in the end and get the keys. We also have experienced buyers, you know, our clients who are investors or, you know, they're repurchasing another home. So we have seasoned buyers as well. But regardless, you know, we have served both sides of the consumers, the sellers and the buyers. So I'm going to talk first about what it would look like for the seller, okay? Traditionally, up to now, the way that it has worked is that the seller, one of their selling expenses is the commission. The seller typically has paid for their agent they hired, so the listing agent, or we call it the seller's agent. So they pay the commission to their agent that they've hired, but in the past, up until now, the seller has also paid the commission for the buyer's agent. The buyers historically have not been the ones paying for the commission to their agent. Things are looking different now, where on the contract, the sellers agree to pay the commission to their agent, which is the seller's agent or the listing agent. Now, what happens to the buyer's agent? What I can assure you is this: the buyer's agents are going to work through this new way of doing business, and they're still going to get paid, or they're not going to bring their buyers to look at your house if you're the seller, right? It makes no sense. Nobody's signed up for this to work for free, and I can assure you it's not an easy profession to really thrive and become successful at. It takes a whole lot, okay? So the way that it's going to look is that, at least for us, working with our sellers, we have a conversation so that the sellers understand that if you want to have exposure for your home, to have a qualified agent bringing their qualified buyer through, chances are you're still going to be paying for them. It's just not how you have been putting it down contractually before. Now, the only way for the buyer's agent to get compensated from the seller side, the verbiage or the term would be called buyer's concession. It would be the seller conceding to a percentage or a flat fee towards the buyer. The buyer then uses that fund to pay as commission to their buyer's agent. That wasn't so bad, was it? I know I had to slow down to explain it in a way that my brain could also wrap my brain fingers around it as well, okay? The process of how the sellers are, if they choose to compensate the buyer's agent, are still what has been done up until now. It's just that it has to be done differently and it looks different on paper. If you are a buyer and you are hiring an agent to represent you, this is the understanding you need to have with your agent who represents you, that somehow this agent has to get paid. There is a new form called buyer-broker agreement where the buyer would have to sign agreeing that their agent would get paid, whether it's 2%, 2.5%, whatever that may be, okay? And that's it's a case-by-case basis. But customarily, up until what we see mostly now, it's a 2.5% commission that is about to go away that has been paid to the buyer's agent from the contract and from the paperwork. However, that's kind of been the customary and standard commission. So the way that has to look is there's paperwork that the buyer has to sign before they can even look at houses, at least through Remax, go through our brokerage. That is required up front, where the buyer does need to sign committing to that agent that they're going to be working with them, which they should be anyway, right? But the commission is going to be spelled out on that agreement. Now, the agent who works for the buyer will have to work through, depending on which property they're submitting an offer on, they need to find out if there's a seller's concession already in place or what they might need to do to have that commission be fulfilled. They may need to talk to their buyer about structuring it so that they would get paid, compensated, maybe partially from the buyer. I'm saying all of these things to say this. Keep in mind that the industry has not changed. The structure of how agents get paid are still going to be the same structure. The terminology and the process in how it gets done is different. It would take more negotiation for the buyer's agent to sort out how they're going to get compensated. That is a fact, but that's still going to get done, right? For you as consumers, okay, it's important for you to understand that you still, as you have before, and I hope that that's what you've done before, you still want to be working with an agent who's going to represent you with their fiduciary responsibility to you. You're their client, right? So it's important that if you're working with a good agent, ethical, who looks out for you, who has your best interest at heart, they should be able to walk you through this change, because believe you and me, we, the agents, are going through this change with you. It's not a choice we made. It's the change that we are adapting to as well. So I hope this has helped a little bit. And if you stick around at the end of the video, I'm going to kind of show you specifically where it shows on the contract, on the listing agreement, what it would look like, and what it would look like on the buyer's contract as well, just so you can kind of see a glimpse of it. When we work with the seller or the buyer, we usually just go through explaining it either through a recording or through, speaking to the clients directly so that they understand the changes and what it looks like. So it's important for you to be really clear that real estate industry has been around for a long time, and the main structure of it is going to continue to be what it has been. There have been many changes. We have gone through recessions. We have gone through the bubble burst, with the foreclosures back in 2009 all the way to 2012, and we have survived it. I have been in those peaks and valleys in the real estate industry through those cycles. So I know that we're going to get through this. I am confident of it. It's just important that you understand and have a transparency relationship with the agent that you're working with. And you should be able to, at the end of the day, know when you put your head down on the pillow, thinking about that dream house you're buying or the home that you're selling, that your agent has your back and they are doing the best that they can to serve you with fiduciary responsibility, with you at the top of their best interest. I hope this is helpful to you. Don't forget to stick around for the additional forms. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, email me at kasamasales.com. Be well and be blessed. So this is the buyer-broker agreement that I mentioned in the video. This is what the form looks like. So I'm not going through the whole thing. I'm just going to point out the part that if you're a buyer hiring an agent. So this is just like, example of price range. This is where it would state buyer agrees to pay to broker as follows. And this would be the percentage, or it would be a flat fee. If it comes as a seller's concession to buyer, this is where the compensation would come from, okay? Or the buyer just agrees to make payment compensation to the agent directly, all right? And that's the main part that I wanted to point out to you. Okay, so this is the listing agreement. I'm just gonna take you to show you where it looks different now. The look completely is different as well. It's easier to read actually. But this would be if you are a seller, where the information would be put in right here is the change. Compensation to seller's broker, which is your agent that you've hired to sell your home. And the percentage would go in here. That's the main part because it's no longer showing a total of the seller paying for both listing office and buyer's broker's office. So just one here. And the other thing you would do here is if you are planning to offer a concession, you would put that here, additional terms, seller to pay buyer's concession up to whatever the percentage is. And then that would be the agreement between the buyer's agent and the buyer to receive this compensation, but we're not allowed to be including that in one contract any longer. And that's coming up pretty soon, okay?